So, anyway, today we're going to work with our internal energies using holographic breathing, but we're going to use the map of the sacred geometry at Chequers. There's a bit of a story to this. I didn't know it was Chequers at the time. There's this little kind of dell in the car park where I'd go and I'd record videos there. And it was really a very special energy. And then I found out that actually it's next to the gatehouse that goes into Chequers. And I'd be recording my videos in this little dell, and I could feel this energy coming down the hill and through the car park and directly through Chequers. And I thought that it was just these old houses are often built on ley lines. And I thought it was just that. And then after a while I just twigged it was actually the Ridgeway, because I was really used to working with sacred sites along the Ridgeway. And it was that energy, and the Ridgeway does go through there, but it's marked quite a way away from where I was, and I thought the Ridgeway goes through Chequers, and they've told everybody, put the walk actually going around the perimeter of Chequers, but the Ridgeway, it went straight through that little dell where I was recording, really fantastic energy, straight through the gatehouse, just past the front of Chequers and up to this other hill called Beacon Hill. And I tried to get to Beacon Hill a few times, but been thwarted because it's surrounded by kind of impassable kind of gorse bushes and things, and not signposted. Once you know the way there, it's obvious you can get there, but very few people go there. And when I was on top of there, it was just totally a magical energy, and you could see the ridge and you could see the arc of the ridge, and it made this beautiful cup shape. And the energy, there's burial mounds up there, and the energy there was just really something very special for me anyway. And the Ridgeway, for those who don't know, it runs from Avesbury, or just south of Avesbury, and it follows a ridge. It comes through here, just north of here. It's just south of Tring, so it's a few miles north of here, and goes up to Ivinghoe Beacon. It's about 75 miles long, and it's the oldest walk, and it's sort of as a pilgrimage route to some people, because there's burial mounds on it, there's sacred sites on it, there's hill forts on it. And the Icknield Way, which is the oldest road, which runs from Cornwall up through to Norfolk, that runs along just below it for a lot of the way, and definitely at Chequers it's at the bottom of Coombe Hill and Beacon Hill, so that they run in parallel. And I was quite annoyed really, because the Ridgeway, it's a 6,000 year old right of way. It is being given to the people, and it was going straight through Chequers, and obviously you couldn't walk it.
When was Chequers built?
Pardon?
When was Chequers built?
Well, the house there dates back to, I think, 1200.
Really?
And I'm not sure if Oliver Cromwell lived there. I think he did, or somebody close to him lived there, and then different. I should have looked it all up before I came, but there was a Lady Grey, somebody like that. One of King Henry VIII's wives was held up there for a while, and then it was given to England after the First World War. And then the Prime Minister has stayed there ever since. But what I think, I'll just start showing you some pictures of the geometry there, so you can see what it looks like. And it's a tantric site. There's a male and a female aspect, and we're going to work with those in ourselves. And if it's okay with people, I had a couple of activations there where the earth really spoke to me very strongly, and I'm not sure what happened, but I could talk you through those activations so you visualize them for yourselves, as if at Chequers, so to bring the earth more to life there, because my feeling is the Ridgeway is meant to be walked. Its energy has grown from people walking along it. So if you take a section out and only one person can walk on it and they don't actually know where the Ridgeway is, it loses a bit of that potency. And it really felt like in the activations that the earth wanted that energy of people walking along it. But if that can't be there, then just psychically or with our inner view or energies walking along it does it, because it once it happened, the whole site activated, and more powerfully than any site I've worked with, much more powerful, much, you know. I did a lot of work at Avesbury and the sanctuary there, which is the female ring just south of Avesbury. At the Uffington White Horse was a place I've worked with a lot of places. I think it's called East Hendrits. It's a very powerful man there. This was much stronger than any of those, and my feeling is that this is a sacred site, and you know, it's been taken over by the rich and wealthy really, and stopped everybody else going through it. And even then, you know, even when, you know, in olden days, rich people would have still probably been able to walk a lot of it. I think it's just that since the Prime Minister's been living there, it's just been enclosed, obviously, because people might want to kill the Prime Minister or something, you know, there's a lot of security there. So let's just look at some pictures so you get an idea of the land there.
Is its energy connected to ley line?
Pardon?
Is the Ridgeway's energy connected to ley line?
Well, there's the Michael and Mary ley line travel along the Ridgeway.
Oh, it goes right along it, does it?
They both kind of crisscross along it, and the Mary ley line is a pretty accurate guide. The Michael one, I think, deviates back and forwards a bit. It's so powerful in this particular place. I think they're both on it through there. I mean, Coombe Hill is the highest hill in the area. Beacon Hill is the most powerful energy I've ever come across in the land. So I think they're both running up. But let's look at the pictures first, so we got an idea of what is there. Do I just press a button?
I think so.
Okay, so just let's scroll up a bit, because I think there's a picture of...
You can use your fingers, it's fancy Mac.
Okay, oh that's... okay,
Just do
two fingers. That's Beacon Hill. For me it's... I couldn't find it, you can't get through here, the trees on this side. There's the same thing on, because this is Chequers land. You can't get through the trees on the other side. Oh, that's clever.
Oh, it's so clever.
But you can come up the front, and there is a way through the woods, but it's not shown. It looks like you're going into Chequers itself, so not many people go through there unless they actually really know. So let's look at this first picture. How do I make it come up?
Do a click on the bottom left.
Oh, okay. And
Two
two
fingers.
fingers.
Yeah.
Gonna make up. There we go. So here's the ridge. You see how it makes this cup shape here.
Mm-hmm.
Can people see? Can you?
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah,
that.
you can see. Can you see? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you get this cup shape here, and then this is the dell where I was recording, which is exactly centre and bottom of the cup, and then this is an ancient track that runs south of the dell. So you've got this basic shape of a chalice which is obviously a very powerful symbol, and we'll be working with that in ourselves. And then if you look at the roads around Chequers, see how they make the same shape?
So which is Chequers? Oh, I see.
This is
Sorry,
the building
the little
Chequers
red.
here,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
these blue lines are the internal roads, and it's pointing in the same direction as the chalice shape. So for me, whoever built Chequers kind of knew the geometry of what was going on, and it'd be interesting to have a look inside Chequers to see if it's actually built around that, with the rooms aligned with that and things like that. And the dell is the midpoint in the chalice. Chequers is the lowest point, so they both hold a position. Chequers is kind of the yin position because it's coming around but sinking down, so it comes to the lowest point at Chequers and then rises up to Beacon Hill. And what you have along the midpoint of this valley, this is a U-shaped valley travelling north, and then it drops into a cup-shaped valley here. So not only have you got the shape of the ridge and the tracks making chalice, the shape of the land makes a chalice as well. And the centre of the U-shaped valley coming south is this light blue line, and there's a spring there which you can go to, and that is a very powerful point. That is like the anchor. That is the earth. And you can stand almost with your feet either side of that energy line, and it is the water circuit. It is to do with the bladder, the penis, vagina, the kidneys and the adrenals. It's that whole circuit, but it's very strongly earth there, and there is a water spirit in the spring there as well. It's a particularly powerful thing, and you can't actually see it on this, but because the S of the spring is written over it. But just to the left of it, there's also a circle of 5 trees that are the Chequers. I don't know which way around it's happened, but the trees at Chequers are Chequers something, the name of the tree, and they've got 5 of those making a circle, just about 20 metres to the left of the spring. That is also a powerful point. Those 2 places make the hara, the base for the chalice, as it were. But let's go on. I'll describe the energy a bit more. We'll get the picture of it first, and then I'll describe the energies. Now, so you've got the shape of the chalice here. Now, Beacon Hill is incredibly powerful as a hill. And if you look at Beacon Hill, it's got the shape of a prayer. It's got this shape to it. This is the right arm coming up and the hands, and then you've got the left arm coming down. So you've got the chalice, which is the female, it makes this shape, and then you can change those over and you get the prayer. So one is a more male quality of connecting with the heavens, and the chalice is more female. So you've got both of those on this site, so that adds to the energy. And also this half, the Beacon Hill half, or Beacon Hill, it has got a bit of a male energy to it. It's balanced, but it's very female. It's like a woman. And then Coombe Hill, this one, is more male. And so you've got a tantra there between the different halves of it. So it starts making this quite strong energy matrix there, which is reflected in us. So we're going to carry on through these pictures, and then
Click button.
down here.
Click it properly, don't
I
tap.
don't know where to press.
Properly?
Oh,
Click
okay,
it, not
properly.
tap.
There we go. So here we have the boundary around Chequers is the light green. So that has in effect broken up the site and stopped people getting to the Ridgeway and to Beacon Hill. And Beacon Hill was also until fairly recently you couldn't get to Beacon Hill at all either. So that has sectioned off half of the site in a way. So we'll carry on. This is where we're told the ridgeway goes. It comes from Coombe Hill coming down, and then it goes directly south, this yellow line, around the periphery of Chequers and then down there. So it misses out the whole cup shape, and there, you know, there's no ridge there. It's not the ridgeway. So basically, people have just been told that the ridge runs around the periphery of Chequers, and I don't know how long that's been in place, but it's not where the actual ridge is, and it's not where the energies are. It's very potent.
How did you know that it went like that, seeing as you couldn't get on the land?
Pardon?
How did you know that it does that?
Well, I could see by looking over the gate, I could see by
The shape of the
looking from
land.
the top of Beacon Hill, and then what I did, I looked on Ordnance Survey maps with all the stratas, and I copied this shape from the Ordnance Survey map to get the exact ridge all along.
Where's Ivanhoe Beacon in relation?
Well, Ivanhoe
Just-
Beacon is about 10 miles going west, east from it's kind of,
yeah.
it's going up
Up there,
slightly, but
okay.
generally east, about 10 miles, and then 60 or 65 miles going southwest is Avebury. And that's quite significant. We'll come to that we'll come to that. I'll talk about the energies of that later as we come to it. So that again is Beacon Hill. And for me, it just has a magical quality to it. There are burial mounds, or the remains of burial mounds, in both these sets of trees. You can't get you can't get to the left-hand side of the hill. It's on Chequers land. You can only get to the front part of the hill, but there's a couple of burial mounds right at the front as well, and there's a natural circle there. So that's my favourite hill. With very potent energy. That is Chequers looking from Coombe Hill. That is, so you can see Beacon Hill there, you can see Chequers there from Coombe Hill. And it's going to draw in, and you can see the ridge. See the ridge coming to Beacon Hill? You can see the ridge dropping down through Chequers. And that is the Chequers land, so you can't get to that part of it, but we can get there energetically. Can't stop us. And that's looking from Beacon Hill over to Coombe Hill. See, it has a much more male presence, Coombe Hill. It's a much more kind of male quality, and very bright male energy, strong male energy. Because I try and sleep up there in my van a couple of times. You can't sleep because it's just buzzing all night long, really. Well, that, and also the military police from Chequers knocking on the door halfway through the night also tends to keep you up when you try and sleep there. And there's the, from Beacon Hill you can see the arc of the cup. There it is again, showing where the dell is and where Chequers is. Now this is looking along Beacon Hill. Can you see how it makes, it's quite a ridge. It makes the hands of the prayer shape. And coming towards the front, there's this natural circle which you can't actually see unless you really look for it. And that's like an acupuncture point. That's very powerful. We'll be working with that in the meditation. It's a very powerful point there. And then that's a little burial mound at the front. You can see the church down at the base of it there. There's the church on its own little hillock. See, that's very similar to the Uffington White Horse, where they've got the main hill and then it drops down to another little hillock which was a ceremonial ground below it. And this road in front of that, that's the Icknield Way. Well, this is in the dell. This is looking south. This is one of the tracks coming out of the dell, travelling south. I've got a couple more on my other computer that I'll show you. Just wondering. Okay, no, we've still filming. So that is travelling south in the dell. This is the pond. The line goes up to just to the side. Chequers is just to the left-hand side of the line there, and the bottom of the valley comes straight down through there, and it really hits me right in the waterworks. Even looking at that picture, it kind of activates the waterworks a bit there. You can see how it rises up, how Chequers is at a low point, and then it's coming around. The ridge is the other side of Chequers. It comes around and then up. It's behind these trees of Coombe Hill, because it rises behind that and then comes along Coombe Hill there. I think that is the last one. Let's now the dell, you've got this road coming here that comes just to the left hand side of the dell, but there's a track going directly straight forwards, continuing from this track going directly right forwards, which was the original track that was there before the road was, and takes a much slower and more even route down. And then you've got the road going up to the right. The ridge follows that road up there, and then there's another road coming out just to the tracks through the woods. These are ancient roads. They were for horses and carts and horses. So. And the reason it's a dell is because the ridge goes directly through it, and they've had to cut a bit of the ridge out so that it can be an old ancient road, so it can go through. Let's just see on this computer if I can bring up a few more pictures. That is looking north out through the dell, so you get a road going that way, an ancient track going that way, and then you've got the road coming down here between, going across where the ridgeway is. That is following the ridge up towards Coombe Hill. That's just going to a field, but that's a ridge coming down into the dell. And that is the road that is marked on the map going directly south. And I have got one, if it's still there, there's another picture on here, but you're not going to see that. You might do. I've got the pictures spread over. I couldn't get the picture off here because the computer's broke.
When did you take those pictures?
Oh, here. Now you can see you can see how old these tracks are. This is the one going down into the woods, and how it's been cut so that carts and horses can travel along it, and the trees actually bending into it. Okay, good.
Is that springtime?
Yes, I think that was springtime, that picture. So we'll just do some meditations to be with those pictures and how they are in ourselves. And as a place, it's good to imagine that you're in the... Are you right there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've just got a serious attack of the yawns. It's okay.
Pardon?
I've got a serious attack of the yawns. It's okay.
It's okay, all right. Try being... Yeah, then you...
Can't meditate with your spine like
No, I'm
that.
going to sit down. Don't mock it till you try it. No, I'm going to go sit over there when we kick off. No,
We're
wait,
going to kick off.
Any minute now.
Yeah,
Right.
we're kicking off.
We're kicking off, right? Okay.
Kicking my mug.
I forgot
Can
what
I
I
have
was
one of those
saying now.
things that you put over to keep yours going?
Take that.
Yeah.
So I don't get cold.
So we'll look at the dynamics of Chequers, and we'll also look at how it mirrors it in ourselves. So to imagine yourself in the dell and just looking south. So you're looking into the cup. So you're right at the centre, bottom of the cup, and you're actually looking down. It goes into a cup-shaped valley. So it drops down into some woods and a valley there.
So where's the dell?
The dell is here.
Isn't the cup north of the dell?
Sorry. Yeah, you're looking north.
North, yeah.
Sorry. You're looking north. You're here in the dell and you're looking that way, north, into the cup. There. And you can't actually see it because it's all woods here. There's a kind of a field there. But that's where you are, and that's where you're looking. And have your hands a bit out to the side, and just to visualize that the left hand is in the direction of Beacon Hill and can be like the top of Beacon Hill, and your right hand can be Coombe Hill as a visualization. And your legs, it's as if you are part of the site. It's a bit like your pelvis and legs are dropping down into the cup-shaped valley, which is like the earth. The earth is at the bottom of the valley there. And okay, yeah, we'll just start with that and we'll talk through it a bit. So gently dropping into the holographic breathing. Relax your whole body. And saying hello to the earth. Send a smile to the earth. And allow the earth to say hello back. Allow yourself to receive from the earth. And then saying hello to the higher self. Send some energy, send a smile to the higher self. And allow the higher self to say hello back. Notice what that feels like through your bodies and through your energies. And asking the earth and the higher self to be with you through this whole session. And from where we are here, exactly in Bovingdon, I think about 5 miles north of here, you've got the ridgeway going across, so you can imagine that. You come to the ridgeway and you turn left, and then after a while you get to Chequers. 3 or 4 miles later you Chequers, and you come down into that little dell in Chequers facing north into the cup. Behind you you've got the stem of the cup going down. And there's an earth where the pond is, that's an earth. So behind you is an earth, back. Then down in front of you, it drops fairly quickly down into the valley, and this is also a strong earth, so you're grounded down into this cup-shaped valley. Gently breathing with the holographic breathing. Holographic breathing is holographic. It will connect you, the same patterns in you to the same patterns in nature. Breathe with the holographic breathing. And then become aware of your left arm. This is going up to Beacon Hill. Notice if this has a bit more of a female quality to it. And the hand will be where it's coming up on top of Beacon Hill. So the hills, the top of the hills are spiritual. It's like the top of the hills are like the head. They have a higher quality to them. And then as you drop down into the valley, this drops down the valley to the sit bones or to the heels and is the earth. So the top of Beacon Hill has a higher quality. The hands relate to the head. And notice if you can feel that in your left hand and your left arm. And also be aware of the whole left hand side of your body, breathing. So you're being aware of it as if you are at Chequers, and also in yourself, what it feels like in yourself, the left hand side of your body there. Gently breathing with holographic breathing. Notice the quality of that, the left hand side of your body. Your left arm is going up onto Beacon Hill. Your left leg is running along the bottom of Beacon Hill. And that whole left hand side of your body. Notice what quality that has. Definitely in the land there and on Beacon Hill it's a female quality. Gently breathing, and then start becoming aware of the right hand side of your body, and notice the energy starts shifting from the left hand side to the right hand side of your body. And as you go past the center line, you might feel an energy rising up through the spine to the top of the head. As it goes through the center line, it ignites an energy that travels up and down the spine, and you may feel this lighting up a bit in your head as it lights up this central column of energy as it travels across. And then being aware more of your right hand up on top of Coombe Hill, and notice the quality in your right hand. Notice if it has a more male quality. And also you can be aware of that in yourself. You can be aware of that on Coombe Hill. We can feel everything from the pictures. You can get a sense of the land. You can feel the quality of the land there. So your arms become like the ridgeway skirting between Coombe Hill on the right and Beacon Hill on the left. And the hands become like the high points on those hills, and you may feel like a buzzing in your hands. The hands relate to the higher energies. That's why they're so good for doing healing with. And then notice how that goes through the heart. And then if you drop down your body more to the abdomen, to the pelvis, to the legs, this is like dropping down into the base of that cup-shaped belly. It has a much more grounded sensation to it. And the right leg at the base of Coombe Hill may have a more male quality. And the left leg at the base of Beacon Hill may have a more female quality. So relaxing and doing holographic breathing, being aware of the right arm, the right side of the body, and the right leg. Notice the qualities of that and the qualities of Coombe Hill. And then slowly shifting across, coming more towards the centre line, moving, going through Chequers and up to Beacon Hill. Notice how as the energy swaps from one side to the other, the energy travels across your body. And as it comes to the centre line, as it comes to the midpoint, there's a release. deeply healing release that moves up through your whole body. Relax the throat, relax the face, relax the eyes. You might feel a flashing in your eyes. You may also feel the sexual energy in your pelvis starting to come more alive as the base of this energy and the connection to the earth in the dell. There's a strong earth presence in the dell, like the earth energies. Relax the spine, relax the pelvis, noticing how this site mirrors our body. It's a tantric site. It's got the male and female rather than one circle and an energy coming right down into it. There's two sides, both with a spiritual connection. There's a right hand side with a spiritual connection from the top of Beacon Hill. There's, sorry, from the top of Coombe Hill. There's a left hand side and a spiritual connection from the top of Beacon Hill. And this relates the hands. And when you become aware of that, you may feel your hands becoming lighter and brighter. And it's a bit like the pelvis really earths down into the dell there and connects down into the valley below. It also connects back and down through the stem of the chalice to where the pond is. Relax the back of the head, relax the back of the neck, and breathe. Being aware of the left hand side of the body, Beacon Hill, and the hand at the top of Beacon Hill. Let that heal through your whole body. And let the ridge, which is from arm, hand to hand, travelling through your body, let the energy travel back and forth along that, between both hands, between both arms, between the more male side of you and the more female side of you. So those play together, the male and female. And as they cross in the middle, and as they play together, notice this aligns in the center of your body. So you've got from side to side an energy, and also you've got a vertical energy in the middle of your body. You've got an up-down axis, and every time you cross over that axis, every time you let the male and the female interact within you, it lights up that vertical axis in the middle. So you can move back and forth at your own pace. You can move up and down at your own pace. And also notice how strongly the hands relate to the head, to the face, to the brain, to the higher energies. And breathe. And also keep checking, because the arms are the ridge, keep allowing yourself to drop in your body. The dell is very much to do with the earth, so you can connect your pelvis there. You can let the energies ground there. And breathe. And when you feel ready, gently allowing yourself to come back. So in holographic breathing, there's a gentle motion of the jaw. Jaw opens on the in-breath, closes on the out-breath, and it's a small motion. And people find their own amount, and it varies over a period of time, but it's not big, maybe 3 or 4 millimeters, quarter of an inch, sometimes less. And on the same time as you're doing that, the lips are closed all of the time, and the upper surface of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth, and as much as feels comfortable. And quite often when people are learning, and a bit later, people are used to opening the jaw and the lips open at the same time. So the lips open, or they open the jaw and the tongue comes off the roof of the mouth. But there's an innate ability, probably from suckling, that the lips can stay sealed, not tense, in a relaxed way, that they can stay closed in a relaxed way and the jaw can move, and the tongue can have a relaxed and soft seal to the roof of the mouth as the jaw moves. I'll just demonstrate so people can see that it really is a very subtle movement of the jaw. So I'll just do just for a few moments. So and very quickly you drop into an alternative state, kind of a shamanistic, very relaxed place. So we're going to go through some exercises, but this time with our eyes open. First of all, to get that seal on the lips, notice you can kind of purse your lips. You can, it goes in here, and the lips stay closed. Try that a few times. You can drop the jaw and the lips stay closed. And now also put the tongue on the roof of the mouth and pull the jaw down. And notice it's like you get a suction with the tongue as the jaw drops down. So you can make a seal, and that is very similar to what babies do. Their lips seal around the nipple in a relaxed way, and the tongue seals the nipple to the roof of the mouth. So we can make a seal, a natural ability to making a seal. But now doing that in a very relaxed way with a much smaller motion of the jaw. So the lips are relaxed with a light seal, the flat of the tongue on the roof of the mouth with a very relaxed seal, and now just in a small way, or however big, opening the jaw. The lips stay sealed, the tongue stays on the roof of the mouth, the jaw closes, the lips stay sealed, the tongue stays on the roof of the mouth. Now make that movement a bit smaller. And now it's a bit like a pump. Notice as you're opening the jaw, it's natural to breathe in through your nose. As your jaw drops down, it's like a little pump. It brings the air in through the nose. Then as the jaw rises, it's like a pump. The breath comes out through the nose. So just being with that, and make the movement smaller. The jaw opens, you breathe in through the nose. The jaw closes, you breathe out through the nose. The tongue stays on the roof of the mouth. The lips stay closed with a very light seal. And now turning that round, so rather than the focus being on the jaw, you change the emphasis. Be aware of the breath coming in through your nose, and as the breath comes in, the jaw gently opens. Then as the breath comes out, the jaw gently closes, and notice how that takes the pressure away from the jaw. It becomes much more relaxed when you have the emphasis on the breath. So as you're breathing in, the jaw gently opening, the lips still have this very natural light seal, the tongue has a very natural light seal. Then as you breathe out, the jaw naturally closes. And notice there's a lot of people already closing their eyes and going into an altered state. Notice you start feeling very relaxed and it's hard to keep your eyes open. You're drifting into a different state. As you breathe in, the jaw naturally opens with it. As you breathe out, the jaw naturally closes. And smaller, slower motion of the jaw, the lips stay relaxed and closed, the tongue stays on the roof of the mouth. Relax the back of the neck, relax the back of the head. Notice it gets harder and harder to actually do it and keep the eyes open because you're drifting into a different state of consciousness. And it's good to relax the back of the neck and back of the head because a lot of the energy is coming through there. Now letting the eyes close, and if you want, let the eyes close. Just naturally being with that. As you breathe in, the jaw is gently opening. As you breathe out, the jaw gently closing. Notice how natural that feels. You get these waves of energy, waves of relaxation moving through your body. Very soft, relaxed seal in the lips, very soft, relaxed seal in the tongue. It's the upper surface of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. The tip of the tongue is close to or touching the front teeth. Maybe half an inch or an inch of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. The more you do, the more of the tongue naturally starts covering the roof of the mouth. But start off with whatever feels most comfortable. Notice you go into this place that's halfway between being awake and being asleep. It's like the dream state. It's a very shamanistic space. It feels very natural. Relax the throat. As you breathe in, the chest is opening, the jaw is opening. As you breathe out, the chest is closing, the jaw is closing. As you breathe in, the abdomen is opening, the jaw is opening. As you breathe out, the abdomen is closing, the jaw is closing. You may be able to feel it right down into the pelvis. So breathing in, the pelvis is opening, the jaw opening. As you breathe out, the pelvis closing, the jaw closing. But also notice in a very subtle way, the whole face has started to breathe. This gentle motion of the jaw connects through every cell, through every part of us, and it especially connects up through the face, through the brain, through the cranium, through the neck, through the throat, connects it to the rest of the body. And this whole area that wasn't really breathing so much before, in a very subtle way starts to open and close with the breath. And it's not a physical thing you're aiming for, it's very subtle. The more subtle you do it, the stronger, more profound the experience is. And as the jaw closes, it's okay for the teeth to touch, but they just float together. There's no pressure, they're not resting and pressing together. They may just bounce around, gently touching a tiny bit. Or the jaw can just be slightly separate as you breathe out. Breathing in, the jaw gently opens with the breath. Breathing out, the jaw relaxes closed. It relaxes open and it relaxes closed. You drop into a deep, shamanistic, alternative space, a channel. But it's your own channel, it's you, your energies, connecting with the earth, connecting with the higher self, which are reflections of you, very resourceful, very nutritious on all levels. Okay, and gently allowing yourself to come back.